Covering the world of professional poker.
From the people who know it best.
Gavin Smith.
It's like multi-way action. The pot odds are so tough to calculate.
Joe Seabach.
I am a heterosexual man. Hear me roar.
And Ali Najjar.
The Colorado beef burger with bacon and cheese.
PokerRoad Radio. Brought to you by the World Poker Tour.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Hollywood the Cub and the Caveman hanging out for yet another fun-filled and glorious Las Vegas summer day here outside the Amazon room in the Rio, where Day 3 action will be taking place moments from right now. 877-888-WSOP, the live call-in number, PR radio chat on AOL Instant Messenger.
People don't call in anymore.
No, they do. They do.
Some do.
2 people are calling in.
Wouldn't it be
today.
awesome to be actually playing in Day 3?
It would be awesome. Dude, I'd be awesome to be playing in Bellagio.
Yeah,
in any
awesome.
tournament.
Yeah.
It'd be awesome.
Wouldn't it be awesome to play, like, past 5 o'clock in the afternoon?
I don't know what that feels like anymore.
God, you guys
Although I
don't
did go out with
discourage
aces
everyone.
yesterday.
Huh?
I did go out with aces yesterday. Yeah.
Don't discourage everyone.
I went
just
out
yet.
with Pocket
Eights. Dude, don't ever play that hand. You know what? I heard, and we're not going to repeat the phone number, but I heard that chick whose phone was used to prank call us is now very upset because she is receiving
She's receiving a million calls.
tenfold prank calls back at her.
Really? Okay,
That's what I've been told.
This is awesome.
That's
Because
what I've
I
been
just
told.
want now everyone out there who is thinking about Rick-rolling or
Yeah,
doing
try
whatever
that
it
shit.
is, you know what? You do not F with PokerRoad Radio. Okay? You do not come after us. Now let me explain.
We'll
to
bring the
everyone out
fire
there.
and the brimstone
It's
down
so
on you.
funny. It's so like, you go to a bar and, like, some guy bumps you and spills like an ounce of your drink. So you beat him to within an inch of his life.
That's us.
This is the retaliation that you characters did to this poor person.
You know what? We're like Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
You
well,
know
you
what
don't
I mean?
do that.
Like,
You
we're
don't,
not the
you
Daniel
don't-
son.
Yeah,
We're
you don't
Cobra
come
Kai.
and you don't prank call us. That's a mistake.
That is
That
a
is
big
a mistake. That's a big mistake. Why? Because you're going to have to change your phone number.
Yes.
When I'm done with you, you're going to have to change your phone number.
Yeah, and if you do prank call us, for God's sake, be smart enough to block your freaking
Yeah,
call
come on.
ID.
Come on.
Let's be real.
Listen, let's be real. With the main event coming 3 months later this year, somebody at the final table we are going to know, and that person is going to get on like Jay Leno or David Letterman or something like that, and that person we are going to tell to release that phone number
That would be
air.
amazing.
to the world.
Wow. It's not over, whoever you are. No, we actually know. Here's what happened. I was doing some ESPN work inside the Amazon room, and Jeff Mattson was one of my interview guests. And suddenly, out of nowhere, while we're waiting for the camera to get set up, Jeff Mattson looks at me and goes, "Ali Najjar, a crime has been committed," which was exactly what I had heard on the prank call.
Yeah.
So suddenly, I look up at him. I'm like, whoa?
What just happened?
just say?
Collision of worlds?
I'm like, what? and then he smiles and goes, "It might have been me." And I was like, "It definitely was you."
See, you're
Because
lucky.
who else would know that?
So who's this Aaron person then? Do we know? Is it Aaron?
Okay.
Is it Aaron, the interview
No.
girl?
No, it is
No.
not, and we're not going to release this person's last
Yes.
name. She is in enough hot water as it is, but she is the sister of a very
Oh,
well-known
I know who it is.
poker player.
Yeah, I know who it is.
Yeah,
So
it is,
apparently Mattson was using, and this is just bad.
Who does
How much
that?
of a chump are you if you're
Yeah.
going to prank call us but not use your own phone?
Well, why would he use his own phone then?
Well,
It would
he
come up
could have
Jeff
blocked
Mattson.
his caller ID.
It makes the prank way worse
Yeah.
if it comes up Jeff Mattson.
No, of course.
A crime has been committed.
And I was like, Jeff,
you're like,
call me
Jeff, I know
later.
it's you, buddy. I got called
But
display.
still,
you
it's
idiot.
not cool to
I
take
paid the
someone's phone.
I pay the extra quarter a month to get called display.
But still, imagine this poor girl. He steals her phone. He makes a prank call. We then release the number on the air.
Well,
This innocent girl.
How could he know that you guys would be such asses as to release her number?
No, are you
I
kidding
thought
me?
it was. I thought it was only fair.
I'll tell you one thing. I would not prank call people who have a radio show.
Yeah.
I would not do that because I just know that shit's not going to end well for me.
Don't you know who we are?
Well, it ended fine for Jeff Mattson.
Yeah, for Jeff it ended
No,
fine.
it didn't. Are
Maybe.
you kidding
Right
me?
now, the
he's
whole-
drawn
Is
dead
he
with that
getting
chick
screamed?
now. There's no way he's getting any tail there. Not a chance. She'll be like, "I'm never hanging out with you again."
She's like, seriously, no, don't even look at me.
Yeah, and
Seriously,
she's like, "And
go.
by the
want you-
way,
I want
you're
you-
not getting my new number."
I want you to know, though, Ali Najjar,
Yes, sir.
master of all the pretty girls on the planet.
Uh-huh.
This girl is very good looking. She's a gorgeous girl, and you are no longer getting anywhere with her either.
Oh well, I was actually never attempting to.
You
get
would have
anywhere
though.
with
Once
her.
you
Gonna put some frosting on the
once
steak.
you saw her and did not have one of your harem lined up for that night, then you'd be like, oh wait, I don't have someone for tonight yet. I need someone.
You know what Joe
Ooh,
referred
that
to my current disposition as?
Oh wow, you're gonna go
male,
public?
male slut.
No. What is the name? What is the term you've coined it?
You want to go public?
the-
It's baseball card.
You
mode.
act out your gay persona
He's
with
on
a
baseball card
homosexual
mode.
puppet.
He's whoa. That was strange.
Wow.
He's on baseball card mode. It's the mode that you get to when you simply are collecting females.
Need him, got him, need him.
Yeah, you know what? I'm enjoying my life. I'm not gonna
baseball
lie.
card mode, my friend.
I'm enjoying my life. Actually, it's Sonic the Hedgehog mode too.
Yep.
If
anybody knows what the friend of, there was Sonic in the game, his little buddy, the little red guy. If anybody knows his name, please call in. Tails, we got it. Don't call in anymore.
Okay, don't call in anymore.
Shaven
Matty
gave it to
Shapes
us.
has ruined the
Tails.
little task we were going to give you, which was much like, well, Shapes, do you know what the average weight of a squid is? No, 17 pounds is incorrect.
Incorrect.
Give that man a shirt, though. For being incorrect with that trivia. We've got plenty to give away here. By the way, we actually kind of don't have a lot of shirts left.
We got to give them all away. It doesn't matter.
Did we, go through all those shirts, Shrunk? Oh, my God.
I like it. Good.
Oh, speaking of which, we have got the chip leader himself, Brian Shadlick, who, speak of the devil, is walking up here right now.
Yeah.
In a shirt.
He's wearing a PokerRoad
He's
shirt.
wearing a
We love him.
PokerRoad shirt.
What's up?
22-year-old kid, special education teacher, won a $130 satellite out in West Virginia because he can't play in Ohio.
Yo, Brian, if you would like to not do very well and you would like us to dust off your chips for you, either Joe or I are happy to come in and play for you.
Listen, we know people.
You will not make
the
dinner.
only ones.
You will not make dinner break.
We know people, Brian, who can put together a Shadlick latex ensemble that
That is
Joe
true,
could throw
actually.
on
That is
and
true.
go in and play as you, if you would like. Now I know you've managed to luck your way into 800,000.
Yeah,
Right, because there's no way there was any skill there,
No.
right?
There never is when you get there.
Listen. I don't want to put any extra pressure on you because, I know you're playing for $9 million or something silly like that. I have a $100 bet that you'll make the top 100. So if it starts getting close, like you're down at 120, can you please play a little careful and make sure you squeak in?
I won't let you down on that $100 bet.
Cool.
Nice, man.
We appreciate that, Brian. Now, I know that you and I have exchanged information. I was under the impression that you would be going big last night with us. However, I'm glad that you did not call me because what kind of conscience would I have if all of a
It'd be
sudden
terrible.
Brian
You
came
made
in
a good decision,
hung
Brian.
over?
No, it works. It works.
No,
I
it works for you. It does not work.
I can remember the first time that I backed Theo Tran in a limit. It was in Limit Hold'em here. It was either last year or the year before. And we go out the night before, and we get a little wasted, and he goes in all hungover and does really well the first day. So I'm like, okay, well, we got to go out again tonight then. So I take him out the next night. I get him all wasted again. He goes back in, and he's throwing up the morning as I'm driving him into the Rio.
Sound advice.
And he does really well again. So then I'm like, okay, we got to go out again tonight. And we went out again the
Maybe
third
you
night.
should take me out tonight then.
Should we tell Brian
Yep.
what he has just done now? He has basically anointed himself with the holiest of waters right now.
a
Because
beautiful thing.
Joe, what happens when you come on PokerRoad Radio?
It's basically a shoo-in for the final table at this point.
I'm not taking this shirt off for the rest of the tournament.
See?
So you guys
Wow.
got
Nice.
That's
we're
going to be bad.
We're going to provide you with a better shirt that fits better. We have
Okay.
some larges coming down.
Because I'm not going to lie,
little
your
tight,
nipples
but-
are protruding through that shirt.
can
Wasn't there
definitely
a
see
guy?
right
Wasn't there a guy that on the ESPN coverage that was wearing the same shirt for a long time and stunk really bad?
Maybe.
And
That's Eskimo. He always.
And no,
does
they
that.
brought that up. Is Brian trying to be that guy this year?
I don't know. No, he's a
I
clean.
haven't gotten
kid.
any complaints about smelling yet.
No,
so
but that shirt's going to walk by
Yeah.
itself by the time you get 10 more days in it.
Give me a couple of days. We'll see what happens.
I love it. I love it. All right, stick with us here, Shadlick, while you wait to get into the Amazon room. I'm sure you can weigh in with a couple of opinions. We got plenty coming up on today's show. Also on PokerRoad.com, the return of 15 outs with Jamie Gold, Shrunk informs me.
Nice.
Are you guys familiar with this bit?
No.
This is something that Shrunk does for the site. Seems like it's fun. Let's all get on. Let's all take a look at our own site. I don't do that enough lately. But, because I'm busy playing baseball cards. So I've been doing another thing I've been doing enough
Do you
of
go
lately.
from multiple per day, or is it you just concentrate on one a day?
I will not divulge that information. I have been known to incur attention deficit disorder elsewhere in my life. So why would this be any different, is what I'd like to inform you of. All right. First off, we do have a lot coming up on today's show. We're going to recap the Day 2B action. Huge field out there. Biggest restart ever in World Series of Poker history. We're going to get to some poker news. I'd like to say we're going to do emails and V-mails, but I'm not confident.
I don't think we're going to have time.
I don't think we're going to have time either because Smurfette herself is in the building. Amanda Leatherman, ladies and gentlemen, is here, and that is my nickname for you.
That just announced. She's always going to be a Poker Road girl at heart, of course.
No, that is the first
But the
position.
new WPT Live hostess, Amanda Leatherman.
Really?
Take it over.
There she is.
Hey, guys, that's my song.
Miss
Sing it.
America.
And
Go ahead.
I'm going to look you up. I can wait another day, Amanda.
Wow, your voice actually got really like into that
Amanda.
gargle.
I can go raspy.
That was raspy.
I
rap.
sing that song to Amanda like every single tournament because if I sing it to her, I get a hug.
Look at all the musical talent at the desk right now. We've got
Amanda,
Joe, who's been in a band.
Amanda, I just sang the song.
The father of grunge rock, Gavin Smith.
Father of grunge rock.
He is. And he's bringing it in for the real thing, Broseph.
It makes
I
me
think, is G.
uncomfortable,
Smith
but there's nothing
making a
I can
play?
do. There's nothing I can do about it.
Is G. Smith making a
He's
play?
bigger than me.
Yeah. And, you know, we're friends. We share.
He's bigger than me. We're friends. We share.
Speaking of big, 2,379 players in action yesterday. A little over 2,400, I was under the impression, in the room. 855 remained. They're going to merge with the 400 and change from day 2A, leaving the field at roughly 1,300 players. Mm-hmm. We have slashed and burned over 5,500 humans.
I was one of them.
Underway.
We were two of them.
I think
Yes.
I was out number 5,200 of those 5,500.
Now, I'm sure that Brian Shadlick is unimpressed by the following piece of information, but the chip leader from yesterday was Peter Biebel,
that was Alex Ethered.
531,000.
No, he
apparently.
was day one. Alex Ethered was the chip leader yesterday with 486.
46?
Yeah.
I like that. I like that you were so on top of
two
it.
guys in day one got more than yesterday's.
All right, the big names that made it through yesterday, friend of Poker Road, Victor Ramden. What's
Yep.
Victor's online name?
I don't know
Victor?
what his online
I believe
name
it might
is.
be
Probably
Victor
Oh, is it Victor
Ramden?
Ramden?
Yeah.
Rambaswani. I always mix them
Who
up.
we should comment.
Rambaswani is the crazy horse.
The crazy horse.
Okay.
I just want to throw in a plug for Victor real quick. On the 17th of this month, he's going to be heading to Guyana, down in South America.
French Guyana?
With no, not
Normal.
Guyana.
Okay.
Guyana.
Okay.
Different pronunciation, different
Got it.
places.
Got it.
He's going to be heading down there with Guyana Watch, the group that goes down and sets up sort of makeshift
The
medical
17th?
hospitals.
I should do that with him.
You should come. I've been several
Are you
years.
going this year?
I don't think I'm going because I'm so tired. I just want to go home.
No, wait a minute.
I would like to go.
You are going to go. Finish the plug.
I'm so tired. Anyways, I'm just saying, Guyana Watch, it's a great organization. He's going to be heading down there once again with a set of doctors from New York. And I just want to give him a plug. It's a great organization. He's doing good work.
Is there a
down there.
website people can get more information on?
I don't know if they have a website yet.
All right, just Google it up.
Google it up. You'll
Guyana
you'll
Watch.
find information about it.
Right. And more than likely, you will find some websites that like sell replica Rolexes or something like that.
Right.
Just
Go
make sure
over
that you don't
those,
click that.
look
Or buy a
further.
watch. Buy a watch and then move on. That's fine.
And hopefully that money will somehow funnel back into the cause
Right.
through the filter. Nenad Medic, yeah, I'm going to say it the right freaking way,
Medic.
you bastards. He made it through the day. Jean-Robert Belland.
No. He's Jean
Hey, Jean-Robert.
He's Jean-Robert.
Jean-Robert.
Come on,
If I'm gonna- you're right.
If you're going to be this guy that has to get named right,
Jean-Robert Belland made it into day two. God, by the way, marker down. Jean-Robert took care of the Chinese debt that he had with Ali after taking the
Nice.
second place, and
Nice.
he found me. We were at the Bodog party.
Nice.
He walks up to me. He's like, hey, and he hands me a flag. I was like, wow.
I got to be honest, you were probably ahead of a lot of people then because I don't think everybody got paid.
Well,
Yeah,
but
I'm
my
sure that's
marker,
true.
my figure was actually manageable.
yeah.
You know, there's some unmanageable numbers out there for sure. Moving forward, Jeff Mad Dog Madsen still in action, ladies and gentlemen.
Nice.
Poker Road family member, J Dags himself, John D'Agostino, who is Sans goatee now.
No, he's shaved?
Yeah, he's on
Nice.
shaved.
He
No
probably
more
looks
goat.
like an idiot like that.
I love Dags, man. He rubs everyone the wrong way, but I love that kid.
No, I
think
like
it's
Dags
hilarious.
too, except for when he beat me for 12,000 the other day. That son of a bitch.
We're doing what?
Playing 2 and 400 Omaha 8. But he sucks, by the way, at Omaha 8.
Online? Heads up?
Yeah.
Jeez, you can do
He
it.
sucks real bad. I'll play him. Dags, you look stupid without your goatee, and I'll play you anytime you want. Heads up, Omaha 8, everybody.
The official call out right here on Poker Road. Phil Gordon, Sasquatch himself, still in action. The abominable Phil Gordon. God damn, he's tall. He
You
came on the
know-
ESPN thing.
He's so tall.
Okay,
it's,
so
it's
so
silly.
tall.
It's
so
just
you
silly.
know Phil Gordon has
should
this
donate his lower
stupid
leg.
plaque at his house, right? On his
Yeah,
pool
yeah,
table.
yeah, yeah.
What are you talking about?
I know.
Phil
that.
Gordon, a couple years ago, we go back to my place. It was me, Johnny Kedge, one of the producers from the WPT, Norm
Okay.
McDonald. We go back to my house. We're playing pool, 9
Okay.
ball. He gets shit-ass lucky on just ramming the 9 ball and making it roll around and it falls twice, and he beats me for 20,000. All right, fine. I go to my safe. I give him the money. I pay him. Now he gets this stupid house in Anthem, and he puts a plaque on his table saying, I want to thank Gavin Smith for donating this pool table or something like that.
Oh, that's good.
It's hanging on the wall.
I like his style.
It's quite irritating. So
I like
I went
his
to his
stuff.
party on last Friday night.
Oh, I missed the freaking barbecue. How was
Right.
that?
It was okay. So now, of course, I have to play him. And I wanted to bring my cue. And I sent Lisa to
You got a good-looking
to
cue,
grab
by
my
the way.
cue, but she got the wrong cue. So I didn't even have my cue.
Oh, no.
But she brought my assistant's cue, which is still a good cue. So I'm playing Phil Gordon, and he gets up a bunch, and then I get up a bunch. So now I'm up 15,000.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And I got time for one more game because I've got shit I got to do the next
You got to
day.
play for 5.
So, no. So he says, well, let's play for the whole 15. I'm like, no,
Ooh,
Phil.
This isn't going to end well.
I'm like, Phil, you can't get out. I'm leaving here a winner tonight. I said, I'll play you for 14-5. Right?
That's a pretty sporting maneuver, by the way.
So we play for 14-5, and he rams the frickin' 9-ball, and it shoots all over the goddamn place. He is the luckiest player I've ever seen in my life.
He just rams the 9-ball until it goes down
He
somewhere?
hits the 9-ball. He'll get the 9-ball rolling whenever he can, and the son of a gun, it goes down a lot. But he is probably a little bit better. I'll give him credit. He's probably a little bit better than me right now, but not much. But I should have beat him for 29-5.
Well,
instead, the son of a bitch got out, and I only got him for 500.
I'm sure that he would make the argument he is better than you at poker because he is into day 3 while the rest of the family is eliminated in day 1. Also, the Persians. Sean Shikhan, Shiki, he's in action.
Oh, durka.
Gus Hansen, the Great Dane, he'll be moving forward. And Mike the Mouth Mattisau also heading into day 3. Notables heading over to the Bellagio, a.k.a. no longer in the event. Michael DeMichel, Brian Townsend, SB Rugby himself, Amnon Filippi, Eric Risen Lynch, John Juanda, Cloney Gowan, Shannon Elizabeth, Carlos Mortensen, Phil Locke, Joe Hatcham, and shocker, defending champ Jerry Yang.
I can't believe he's out.
The shadow.
Shocker.
The shadow's out.
The shadow's out.
I had him like 2-1 to repeat.
Yeah.
So sick.
I don't see how you can take Jerry Yang out of this tournament that early.
Yeah, I'll tell you what was funny. I was hanging out inside
Aces and kings?
the orange area. No, it was he had ace jack against ace 9, but he blew it all off with ace queen against king queen, and it was king king queen on the board. But in any event, I was hanging out in like the orange area of play.
Yeah.
Is that where the cool guys hang?
No, I was just there, and then all of a sudden they did this big announcement. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a big, nice round of applause for defending champion Jerry Yang? His World Series has come to an end, and I had no inner monologue, and I said it like so that 6 tables around me at least could have heard, and I'm like, shocker, like that all loud, and everyone starts laughing, looking at me. I'm like, oh shit, I have a public persona. I was like, I probably shouldn't say stuff like that.
But that is your public persona.
The
so
Needless
it's okay.
Needle, yeah, Needless Needle Najad is my new nickname.
That's a pretty good one, actually.
Not bad, right? All right, let us just get to the numbers real quick. Day 3 begins today. First totally combined field, like I said, 1,307 players officially will begin. Overall chip leader is the guy you just heard from, Brian Shadlick, who is kicking it here. Newest friend of PokerRoad Radio.
Loving it, baby.
He's got patches, a hat, a T-shirt.
We're tattooing PokerRoad on his skull.
That's what we're going to do.
Fighting hard to get top 100.
Let us not forget Jeremiah Smith, also a friend of PokerRoad,
Yep.
in the top 10 with 386,000 in chips. We wish him the best. Brandon Adams and Chino Ream, both with around 350K. Nanad Medic and Robert Mizraki, both in there with over 270,000. 877-888-WSOP, the live call-in number.
I believe it's Mizraki.
PR Radio chat on AIM if you want an invite to the PR chat room where you can ask questions. Don't forget, we got Annie Duke and Don Cheadle on the show today. We'll be right back with some WSOP trivia, some poker news, some Amanda Leatherman, and plenty more. Stay with us. Welcome back for more Poker Road Radio. Spit it out, Ollie. Ollie with the Cub and the Caveman all hanging out here. And you know what? Boys, it feels good that security is no longer siphoning off our loyal listeners.
That's the power we have.
Yeah, and
right?
they didn't give up on us.
They donked us, so we bring in Tony, the big dude.
Yes, the head dude.
And what happens? They take down the barricades.
I love it.
We didn't even have to bull rush.
About
We did
this.
not have to bull rush. But thank you guys all for being here to help us with the bull rush.
But for the
Even though we
record, if we had to, we would have.
Oh yeah,
For sure.
we were taking those 74-year-old security guards down.
Yeah, we were going to send Chris out there with the wireless mic and the headphones.
We
to get
still
the
should
job
have done
done.
that. We
I
still
know,
should have
that would
done
have been
that.
really fun. The Biff Henderson play.
Exactly.
That's exactly what that would have been. A little bit of sad news, guys. Today is officially 5-Pound Baby Jesus' last day with Poker Road Radio. We're going to send him back north of the border.
Ooh.
I would like to...
He's from Canada.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Where have you been for the last month and a half? Honestly, where have you been for the last month
Where's
and a
he
half?
from?
Is this actually happening right now?
I had no idea.
Is this actually
Are you
happening?
kidding?
I'm not kidding.
This whole time, where do you think
Wow.
you find beards like that? You don't
Wow.
find them here.
Wow.
Look at that thing. It's
what-
hanging over the upper lip. It's like making contact. It's stubbly.
Honestly, what rock do I live under?
I don't know. You tell us.
That's a really good question.
That's ridiculous.
You tell us. All right. Well, that is the Poker Road news. Now let us get to generalized poker news.
Bringing you the biggest stories. Or, well, whatever we could find 10 minutes before the show. Poker News!
We teased it earlier, but now is the official moment where we are going to introduce that Amanda Leatherman, friend of Poker Road, family member.
Not friend of Poker Road.
Family member.
Friend?
Family member of Poker Road. Thank you.
Is
Mother of Poker Road.
the
Mother
new
of Poker Road.
online webcam video girl for the World Poker Tour. Congratulations to Amanda. She is
Thank
here
you.
with us right now. Wow.
Oh, look at
at
applause.
that. A little bit of love.
See, this is what happens when you're a cute girl and you do something. Applause.
Yeah.
If you're a dude, they're like, nice.
Don't
Gotta
be
go. See you in a
jealous.
bit. I'm a little
It's all
jealous.
right, really.
I'm a little bit jealous. I'm not
Gavin,
gonna
Can you guys hear me? I feel like I can't hear myself. But
you
We
feel
can
like
hear
you
you.
can't hear yourself?
lie. Bring that mic up to
Well,
your
that's
mouth a little
unfortunate.
bit.
it's on my
Whoa.
mouth.
Whoa. Easy now. Easy, you two. Amanda, you are among the spicier people here at the World Series for sure.
Sometimes.
You and I regularly get into it.
We do.
It's a miracle that you haven't punched me in my face at this point. I have not noogied you in
And
public.
let me tell you honestly, she will punch you in the face.
I will.
It has happened.
You're lucky.
She's punched me.
Actually.
She's punched me somewhere far worse than the face.
I did. I didn't punch you. I grabbed you.
Yeah,
Are
in
you
San
so-
Jose.
Whoa.
Whoa, easy
That's
now.
very uncomfortable.
San Jose. It was
Easy, easy now.
Well, it was comfortable and
But do you
erotic
know
all at
why?
the same time.
Because
the
you
truth-
punched me. Actually.
You deserved it.
All right.
Okay, the he said, she said will come to a stop now. Order in my courtroom. I want to talk with you about this. Now, did you approach the World Poker Tour? Is this something that you had been pursuing for a while, or did they come to you? What happened? How'd you land this gig?
They came to me a
Really?
few months ago. Yeah.
Mhm. And they said,
They said, we're interested. Would you like to do this? That's about it.
I'm sure plenty of people around the Rio have also come up to you and said that very same thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't in reference
And you
to
were
a
one of
job,
them.
right? Never me. Never me. Okay, so you are going to take over the throne from friend of Poker Road, Kay Lance,
Yeah.
Kimberly Lansing.
Yeah, and I don't know what's going on with that.
Now, do you want us to tell her, or do you want to just tell her yourself?
What do
Is
you
there
mean?
going to be any animosity here?
No, I don't think so.
No,
I don't think
come
she.
on.
Come
Well,
on,
actually,
dude.
what we're
Don't
more-
try and start things.
what
I don't
we're
think
more-
she wanted to do it anymore.
What we're more intrigued about is the possibility that you guys might fight. Because we're.
Can we arrange a Poker Road
would
mud
like that.
wrestling match?
Yeah.
I don't
No,
know.
she
You
was
talked to
over
her,
it.
right?
I talked to her. She's over it. She was done. She didn't want to do this anymore. And you know what? At the end of the day, they wanted somebody who was going to be a little more enthusiastic.
Exactly.
about the situation.
Well, and I
Amanda
think
is.
that really is the best point. The best point about Amanda is the fact that, you know, she knows these players better than anybody, and they're more comfortable with her than they are with anybody else.
Right.
So I can't wait. I think that the interviews are going to be amazing.
I agree.
You know?
I agree.
Thank you.
I think we're going to have a lot to look forward to. We're excited. What else is going on with you? What are you out here doing this whole World Series, for those who don't know?
I'm working for PokerNews.com, doing interviews on the breaks,
Trader.
as usual. Yeah.
Trader!
And I still work for Poker Road. I still do all my things. And
You're-
we're
it's-
going to do more Poker Minds coming up soon.
Right.
Right?
It's not you. You don't work for us. It's family.
Yeah, it's family.
You are one of the original.
I
He
think
always
that
corrects
is-
me.
That's a coy way to try to not
Not
cut a
fair.
paycheck.
Right?
Not fair
I'm
enough.
impressed by that play. You cloaked it. You dressed
Hey,
that
Ollie,
spot up.
you
Yes.
are also part of the family.
Oh my God, this is
You
brilliant.
Gavin,
don't get
also
paid
part
either.
of the family.
Screw
So
that.
none of y'all should be expecting any
Screw
checks.
that. I don't want to be a family.
Anymore.
Yeah, thanks, Dad. We're really, yeah. I'll just put in all these chores for no reason. How's that work?
But for World Poker Tour, I'll be doing the interviews on the breaks.
Right.
I'll be doing a personal video blog once a
Right.
week. And hopefully that'll be exciting. I'm not sure how exciting that'll be.
Well, that's no.
And
I
then-
think it is exciting though, because you are going to be doing a whole host of stuff. It's not just going to be that stuff. You're also going to possibly be doing some video blogs about your own personal life, right?
That's what it is.
Right.
It is. I said personal.
Right.
Right. And then I'll be doing a written blog also from every event.
You're kind of a superstar walking around the Rio.
Look
over
at
here,
that.
Huh? Do you get do people walk up, ask for photos, ask for
You
autographs
know
and
what?
stuff?
I'm kind of a big deal.
You don't know how to say this, but you're kind of a big deal.
She's an 87-pound big deal.
Big deal.
I finally topped Ali.
What are you talking
Wow.
about, weight-wise?
Whoa.
Oh, my God, are you serious? I will punch you from here into red 34.
Hey, we can't
like
do
in
this on the
Amazon.
air.
No, we can do
No, this is what we do on the air.
This
actually,
is
every day.
exactly.
This
Have
is
you
what
not
we
been
do.
here? Do you not understand the formula for the show? All right, how about I will allow you to be the honorary deliverer of the World Series of Poker Trivia question today. Would you like to do that?
Do you want me to?
I would like you to do that. I think that they will respond better to you.
That is
but
for sure.
before I do so, can I verify that we do have merchandise available today to give out? We do not.
Did we give everything away?
Oh my God, are we really doing this again?
Well, let's do trivia and give something else away. What can we give away?
Let's give. How about
Dates with Amanda?
a date with Amanda? We can give that away. Can we
Yeah.
do that?
Yeah, we're not giving that away.
No, we're not. Oh, Joe, with the executive decision making. Oh man, look at the disappointed faces on all our
bad.
fans out here.
Sorry, guys.
How about a date with Shronk? Anybody into
Date
that?
with Shronk?
Yes.
You guys. Oh, look, everyone's leaving. Everyone's leaving. Nobody wants to do that. Well, I'll tell you what.
How about the winner can come to our dinner tonight?
Ooh.
Hey.
I don't know. Is that all right?
Sure.
All right, the winner can come to our dinner tonight if they want.
All right. You guys want to do that? All right. Here we go. Amanda,
Make it a really tough one.
Amanda, here is the trivia question right here.
Unanswerable.
So I need to start here.
You need to start right here. Annie Duke and Don Cheadle are our guests on the show today.
Oh, they are?
And the trivia the trivia revolves around that. Where have you been?
All right. Annie has done a bit of Hollywooding herself, guys. Annie has appeared in 3 television shows that are not poker shows.
I know
2
one
are
of them.
dramas. 1 is a game show. Okay, a shirt to anyone who can name.
No, a dinner.
No
One of
shirt.
them.
A dinner.
Oh, a dinner
We've
now.
updated it.
Shit,
Yes.
a dinner.
You got to
All
take the handheld and go out and talk to them.
Really?
All right.
Yeah.
Oh,
right.
Amanda's
No,
gotta do-
no,
it's
she
5
doesn't.
pounds
Riley can
last
do that.
day.
5
Let
pound
him,
can do
let
it.
him get to work. All right. 3 shows. 2 dramas.
I think we got a
1
hand
game
up right
show.
here.
No. Give it a whirl. Give it a whirl. You got to name all 3 to successfully answer.
Yeah.
The
You
question.
don't
Gotta get all 3.
No.
Come
All
on.
3?
Throw your hat in the ring.
No
Come
one
on.
I'm
knows.
telling you what, we're going to Antonio's down here too, which
No.
is well, you know what? I think we should go to Cafe Martin.
That place sucks. I've eaten there.
Okay,
The
I heard
food
the
is not
food
good.
was real. Wait, hold on.
The food is not good.
I like Cafe Matronos.
I don't like the food at all.
I heard the food
I
there
do
was
like
better.
I do like Antonio's better.
Antonio's is like more like.
Yeah, Antonio's
you know,
is more.
It's
yeah,
more
yeah.
chill.
I like it.
Yeah, it's definitely
It's
more chill too.
All
But I
right.
do like watching The Godfather while I'm eating.
Yeah, that is cool. I'm
Does
not gonna
no
lie.
one know the answer to this question
Whoa.
in its entirety?
We got.
Does anybody know 2 out of 3?
2 out of 3.
You guys don't even have 2 out of
We
3.
will accept 2 out of 3 now.
No,
1 out of 3 is
one
not
everybody.
enough.
Everybody
so
on
what,
the
you guys
planet
are going to
knows
sit on
one,
each other's
man.
lap and share the meal? This is not happening. That's not going.
I don't know the answer either.
I know one of them.
No, I don't
know
know
the,
the
I just know
answer
the game show.
Chris knows 2. Chris knows 2.
Well, let Chris be our dinner guest.
Let Chris can
All
come.
right.
Let's go.
Chris,
Answer the
all right.
question, Chris.
Go ahead and give us a whirl.
1 versus 100, Las Vegas.
That is correct. 2
In.
out of 3. Chris, you're
Dinner.
probably coming anyway, but congratulations on winning.
What was the other one?
The third one. Who can name the third? Did anyone know the other one?
Schronkles.
Scrubs?
It was a show. It was on CBS, I believe.
Oh, no.
It was on, which is probably why you didn't see it. Yeah. No. It's an awesome show. Look at Shrunk. Shrunk, you watch the most obscure television
is
on
it?
earth.
What is it? What is
I want
it?
you to know that Numbers
I don't
she
know
was
what
on
that
that
is.
show.
I've
with
never
Sandra
heard of
Bullock.
that show.
With Sandra Bullock.
Oh, I like Sandra Bullock.
Ooh, I like Sandra
That's your
Bullock.
I
favorite
believe
girl.
it's Sandra, by the way,
Josie
not
Bach.
Sandra.
You know what?
I had the biggest crush on
I-
Sandra Bullock for like all through college.
I
While
still-
we were at Berkeley.
I still
Sandra Bullock looks like someone beat her with a bag
Sandra.
of old Nick.
Number one, I don't think it's Bullock. She's not like a Bullock. It's
Whatever
Sandra
she-
Bullock.
It's Sandra Bullock. You know what? She's seriously not a pretty girl.
I
What?
agree.
You're trying to say she wasn't hot like
Oh,
10
you're
years
an
ago.
idiot. She's
Not now.
gorgeous.
Well, now she's a little older, but
God.
10 years ago she was
Come
ridiculously
out with
hot.
me for a night.
No, she was absolutely
Sandra
gorgeous.
Bullock. Jeez.
Listen,
Come
I've
on.
gone
Are
out
you
with you and your
serious?
little harem baseball card guy. So
Yeah.
you
Hey,
can relax.
How do I do?
Your baseball card, I understand. You collect like rare, like,
Neater,
1983
neater,
George
gotter,
Bretts.
neater.
I know how it is.
No, it's neater, neater, hatter, neater, 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 hatter, 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 neater, neater.
No. It's
I
Hatter,
don't know
Hatter,
anything
Hatter,
about our
like
quirk.
her again. Hatter, like her again.
Just like muck, ace king chip.
You know what? Last night I put together a group, and Gavin, you actually took it a little bit personally that I did not place a phone call to you to invite you. But let us remember, you have a prop bet. I did not want to cause harm to this prop bet.
Sure. You just did not want me to come and steal your girls. I understand.
That's exactly what it was. But I put together a nice little group, including Hillary Walsh, my ESPN producer. She was hanging out with us.
Yeah.
Joe, Marina Barocco on the cover of Card Player Italy. TJ was not in attendance. I would love to get TJ to chauffeur us.
Oh, you
one
didn't
night.
call
He
him
looked-
either,
he
eh?
looked great. I was there. Who else do we have there, Joe?
Barry Greenstein.
Kevin Klunder, my boy who works on Poker After Dark.
Yeah.
We had Melissa Forster. Who's been
What
hanging
about
out with me a lot. I
Ivy?
met her over at the UB party.
All right,
and,
enough of the drop-ins.
Hold on. Well, there was one more person.
I don't remember.
Can I ask you
Do you
something?
not remember? Yes.
When you take all of these girls out together,
Are they girls? Joe's a girl?
no, when you take all these girls out
Well,
together,
you
you know you
shushed.
do that. Do they all want you and they all know it? Because it's kind of weird.
You know,
It's not an invalid question.
It's kind of bizarre.
It isn't actually. I don't understand. Like, how did suddenly this turn into I get interviewed on the show? I
don't know.
Because that's
If
what
he
I
wants to
do.
get- He does. That's your gig.
You are the guest. I brought you on. You are the guest. I will not answer these
But
questions.
in her defense, you did stop asking her questions.
You did.
That's true. I did.
Yeah,
say that.
So I had to do something.
'Cause
I
it
have
had
to
to
carry
become-
the interview
It
because
had
you
to
don't.
become all about Ali night.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
We
It
don't
was
really care.
not all about me. I was just talking about that we went out. We had a good time.
We don't
What's
care
wrong
what you
with
did
that?
last night.
Wow.
Man, the
Your
wheels
words
are
hurt.
coming off this bus.
I just want to know if they're all okay with it.
You know what? They are all okay with it.
That's good. It's good
and
times.
that's fine because I'm a friendly man.
You know what I'm not okay with, though? I'm not okay with getting a phone call at 3 a.m. asking if Ollie can bring his harem over to eat Taco Bell.
Oh, time the hell out! That call came in from Nicholas Fuller.
And then eat the food, hang out for a little bit, pour drinks, don't drink them, and then leave.
That was not. I did not.
So they went
execute
through
that
my.
maneuver.
They went through my alcohol. They affected my sleep, and they made my house smell like Taco Bell. And I'm not. Okay, I'm not okay with any of those.
Okay, no
events.
problem. I'll let you have a little sausage circus there at 3 a.m. instead of freaking coming over.
My sausage. That was it.
No, there was a couple of other ones in there. All right, we're going to break it real quick. We're going to be right back. Apparently, Annie is on the phone. Annie Duke. We're going to be back with her. And 877-888-WSOP, the number. PR Radio Chat on AOL Instant Messenger. We'll be right back with more PokerRoad Radio. Welcome back for more PokerRoad Radio. We've got a little phone-in interview action today. And Amanda, maybe you want to stick around for this phone interview since you're the interview chick. You know what I mean? If you want to. I don't know. But you took your freaking headset off that has the mic on it, so you can't answer my question. All right. Young lady who's joining us has over $3.5 million in career tournament cashes. She won a bracelet in the 2004 Omaha High-Low, and she's got plenty of other accolades to her name. But I'm going to save most of the time for her interview. Please welcome on the phone right now from Los Angeles, the very sweet Annie Duke. Annie, are you there?
I like the canned laughter.
That was not laughter. It was applause.
Those are real people. There are thousands of people sitting
There
right
are
here.
millions
Thousands of people sitting there. Cool.
You wouldn't even believe it if we told you. They bum rush security to get up here and listen to the show. That's how much they wanted to listen in on this particular segment. Good morning to you, dear.
How are you?
We're good. We thank you so much for getting on the show, despite the fact that you have already left Las Vegas. When did you leave?
I was going to leave Tuesday, but I ended up leaving Monday because my boyfriend has an audition for House.
Really?
So we felt like we should get back to that, yeah.
Okay, a little bit of homesickness, apparently.
Good luck to Joe.
For Annie.
No.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, Annie, I was out here a few days ago. I believe it was last week, possibly, or over the weekend. And you were involved in a very special charitable endeavor here at the World Series. And I definitely wanted you to have an opportunity to talk about that, how the event went, and the cause, and make all of our listeners aware of one very special Annie Up for Africa.
Yeah, this was our second annual event. So Annie Up for Africa is a charity that Don Cheadle and Norman Epstein and I founded. And people don't know who Norman is, but he's a really good friend of me and Don's, and he really does so much of the bulk of the work, and he really kind of goes unheralded, so I like to say his name as much as possible. Mm-hmm. But so we founded it in September of 2006 and did our first event at the WSOP last year, did our second event this year, and, it was really great. We learned so much from last year. I think that the event was so much smoother. We had so much more press. We had 150 press outlets, which was really amazing because the main goal, whatever money we raise, is really a drop in the bucket in comparison to the problems that are happening in Darfur. But the awareness is what's really important, because when you start getting people to know what's going on so that they can apply political pressure, that's when you get real change. So we did raise almost $400,000 though, so that wasn't so bad. That's nothing to sneeze at. But really getting the word out for the second year in a row. So it's really wonderful to be involved with that organization and to know that, I have whatever small part that I can in sort of changing what's happening over there. So
how did you get linked up with Don Cheadle?
Well, I'm going to tell you the story, but I'm not going to say who introduced us because I don't want it to be like a name-dropping thing. But
no worries.
A friend of mine, we were hanging out. We were supposed to go to dinner one night, and he said to me, "Oh, I forgot. I have to go to Don Cheadle's 40th birthday party. So do you want to come?" And I was like, okay. So I went, and I met a lot of really cool people, including Don. Mm-hmm. And Don and I just really got along. And then I was lucky enough to be, a few months later, brought to the set by the same friend of Ocean's 13.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. And my friend was like, "Oh, let's play a freeze out," because they had wrapped for the day, and let's play a freeze out in my trailer or whatever. And so we played a freeze out with Don and some other people, and I actually won it.
It's a slippery slope
after
from
that,
freeze
Don
outs
and I
in the
became
trailer.
really good friends, and so we would have lunch together, or I'd go over to his house and play poker or whatever. And then, one day when we were having lunch, we ended up coming up with this idea.
That's cool. Have you actually had an opportunity to go out to Africa and check out some of the conditions yourself firsthand?
I haven't yet. It's actually pretty dangerous to go over there right now, but I think that we're talking about taking a trip actually this fall.
Okay,
Wow.
cool. Well, we look forward to you getting back on the show and reporting about that. But I do have to now talk about what is literally on everyone's mind, given your association with Ultimate Bet and some of the recent developments over there with respect to the Absolute Poker scandal and the super user
Right.
accounts and a lot of the refunds that have been happening. Let me just lead off by giving you an opportunity to address what exactly it was that took place on the site, how exactly it was that security was breached or compromised, and what is being done from here forward to ensure that is not currently happening any longer and no longer will be a concern for players at Ultimate Bet.
Well, I think that I'll go through the history of it. So, first of all, let me just say that it's not. It's kind of hard to explain, but there is actually no super user account. So let me explain what I mean by that. A super user account would be an account that was created that has special privileges attached to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it would be an account that was created where when that account was playing, you would be able to see whole cards, okay?
Okay.
So that's actually not what happened in this case. That's not to say that someone couldn't see the whole cards. It's that it wasn't that particular account. This person could have logged in, for example, to your account, Ali, and been able to see whole cards because they were using a piece of software that allowed them to see whole cards that was extra to, it wasn't part of the client.
Okay, and this software was something that people were downloading unwittingly?
No. So let me explain how this works.
Okay.
There was a person who was associated with, when Ultimate Bet first formed, there was a software and marketing company that developed the software and did all the marketing for the company. Now, because of the way that the laws of the United States work, you need to form a company to hold the brand and the gaming license.
Okay.
So that company really doesn't do anything, right?
Got it.
It just holds the gaming license, basically. So that company was called eWorld Holdings. Okay?
Okay.
Somebody associated with eWorld Holdings figured out that there was a tool that you used on Ultimate Bet that didn't actually, the tool itself didn't let you see the whole cards, but figured out that if you developed a piece of software that you could kind of attach to this tool, that it would allow you to get into a data stream that has the whole card. So let me explain this as well. The way that the administrative part of the site works, if you're an administrator and you log in to retrieve hand histories, you can't do that until the hand is over, right? So the data, the whole card data exists somewhere, but it's not viewable by anybody until it gets thrown over a fence. Until the hand's done, it gets thrown over a fence, and then you can access whole card data in the form of a hand history. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is that data stream does exist somewhere. It exists on all sites. It has to, right? Because you have to have the whole card somewhere in the data, right?
Right.
So what this person figured out is that they could develop this piece of software that basically would allow them to get a view into that data stream. Okay?
Okay.
So again, this is not a software developer associated with the company developing the software. This is somebody who's associated with another company who's figured out that they could develop this piece of software, right? So now, basically, my understanding is, I'm not completely clear on this, is that there's somebody who, they kind of get somebody to then install this on a server. Okay?
Okay.
So now that just sits there. It's not used at all.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Now, what happens is flash forward a couple years, and now Ultimate Bet's going to go public. All right? So Ultimate Bet's going to go public, and what happens is that to go public, they now need to sort of wrap everything together because the public company has to own the brand and the gaming license, okay? So they buy out eWorld Holdings. So eWorld Holdings is now completely bought out. The people associated with eWorld Holdings no longer have a revenue stream. They don't own anything anymore.
Okay.
Okay? Now, when that happens, this piece of software starts getting exploited.
By former employees.
By somebody by the person who developed it, by the person who was associated with eWorld Holdings.
Okay. And it was just
now,
one individual?
This is where there was a big fall down on the part of Ultimate Bet. Okay?
Right.
Because this person had been associated with eWorld Holdings, when that person's account changes, changes to the names of accounts, it wasn't really questioned. Now, by the way, that's against company policy. Company policy is that you can't change the name on an account.
Well, how if it is against company policy, then how did it happen? at this point? How is it allowed?
Because and this is true of all companies, particularly when they're in a startup, is that there are people who are kind of considered friends of the project. So, for example, for a long time, I was able to say, hey, listen, Ali Najad, he's a friend of mine. Can you give him more deposit limits?
Special
right?
considerations
I
being
could be
given
like,
to
right.
people.
I could say, I know him. I'm
Right.
vouching for him, right?
Okay.
Give him a higher deposit limit or allow his account to transfer or things like that. So for a long time, like, I could do that.
Yeah, I could have used that. I'm kidding.
Yeah,
Only
right,
kidding.
exactly. So that's sort of, and that's true, like, of any, because, like, obviously, I'm sure that at Full Tilt, like, Mike Matiso is treated differently than other people. This is kind of
course.
and I'm not saying that it should be that way. I'm saying that that's generally the way it is.
Understood. Okay, so moving
Right.
along.
So this person just sort of had more leeway in terms of, like, hey, will you change the name on this account?
Right.
Or will you make sure that this account has a large deposit limit? Or, this is a friend of the project, so don't question the cash out.
Okay.
Because a lot of what happens, a lot of where you find fraud is when there's a large cash out request, the cash out is investigated.
Okay.
Okay, so this didn't happen. I mean, again, this is a big fault on Ultimate Bet.
Okay.
That there were these cash outs happening and account name changes and things like that, and nobody was like, hey, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, it
because
didn't send up any
it was
red
just
flags.
like this person had such a long relationship with the company
Right.
that they weren't being questioned.
Right.
Okay. At any rate, so now that's all happening, like, starting in around December of 2005 or so. Okay.
Okay.
So now what happens is go forward now to October of 2006.
Okay.
Okay. So now this problem is already happening. Okay. On October of 2006, this is when UIDEA passes, and the company now sells to Queero Enterprises. Okay.
Okay.
So now that's the company Queero Enterprises now owns Ultimate Bet. So these owners didn't have anything to do with it at all. This is a thing that they inherited from a company that they bought that was sold to them without the people. And by the way, the people selling the company to them also did not know this was going on.
But somebody is to blame, Annie. Somebody is responsible.
Oh, no. There's a lot of blame. I'm not saying that nobody's to blame.
Right.
Okay.
Well, then who is ultimately responsible?
This is a situation where there were procedures that should have been followed that weren't followed.
Right. So who is ultimately to blame, or who is responsible for the breach?
Those companies are to blame for the procedures not being followed. In other words, these owners inherited the problem. They didn't create the problem.
Right.
But that being said, they were still treating the person like a friend of the project.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, that's a big fall down, and they've admitted that. They said that was ridiculous that they weren't checking these things. It was like an inherited thing, like, oh, here's this guy, he's a good friend of ours, whatever. I mean, it was ridiculous.
Okay.
So it's not. Look, Ultimate Bet in no way, shape, or form is saying that they're not to blame. What they're saying is that the owners of this company did not cheat their customers, which is a very different thing.
Okay.
Now, did the cheating occur because of a fall down in terms of following of the procedures? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But they didn't cheat their customers. They didn't develop software that was going to cheat their customers. They didn't create super user accounts to cheat their customers. They screwed up, though.
Right. And I mean, obviously, as an online player, you do place a great deal of faith in a company to protect you from these sorts of shenanigans.
No, absolutely no question. And
Yeah.
that's the one thing that needs to be made, really clear is this, that in the end, there have been problems on every single site. There is not a site which hasn't had problems. Okay.
Well, I don't know if
to
that's
be fair, though, but
I don't know if
that's
fair.
absolutely true.
Well,
I'm
hold
not
on,
saying
hold
that
on one
they
second,
necessarily had this problem.
Well, that's
but
the
there's
thing.
no site that hasn't had large refunds occur to its customers.
No, of course, but I think it's difficult to make that across the board statement.
And not on this
No,
scale.
but this is what I'm saying. Okay, this is what I'm saying is that to some degree there have been problems on every site. Has there been a problem like this? No.
Right.
This is unique to Ultimate Bet, but there have definitely been problems on every single site. There have been other sites, in fact, in the past that have had issues like the Ultimate Bet problem.
Right.
Okay. Now, here's the situation. Okay, when you have any large financial market, this includes the stock market. This includes any type of business. There are going to be people who are going to try to cheat it. It's true of brick and mortar casino poker. We know this, having been in this thing, and anybody who pretends otherwise is hiding their head in the sand.
Of course.
Like if they think that when they walk into a casino that there isn't someone trying to take advantage of that system, they're wrong. Okay.
Of course.
That's just a fact of like when my retirement account is being cheated every single day.
Right.
Okay, I know that for a fact.
But now at the same time,
what you have to do is say that, hey, did they fall down in terms of being proactive on the problem? Absolutely. But the fact is that when the problem was discovered, this company never once denied it. They admitted that there was an issue from the start. Hey, we know there's an issue. Number two, they involved top people in the online community in terms of data analysis in order to make that investigation completely open. Okay?
Well, I think, Annie, hold on
wait,
a second.
let me finish. Number three, they certainly involved the regulatory body, and number four, they refunded every single dime. Right. And that's where I think that's where you need to be looking, because when you have somebody like Ivan Boesky in the stock market who cheated the market out of millions and millions and millions of dollars, nobody was made whole from that.
Well, right, but
they don't go back and make anybody whole.
Right, but Annie, that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about specifically the situation with UB, and I think part of the problem is that there is this perception that the brass at UB didn't admit anything was going on until they just simply had no choice, until it got so bad.
That's not true. That's true of the AP scandal, but not of the UB scandal, and you can look at the history of that. They were alerted that there was an issue with Neo in the middle of January, and literally within the week they had put out a statement saying that there was a problem with this account.
Well, there's a couple things that jump out at me right now is why would they have to be alerted of the problem instead of finding it internally ahead of time? But that's
that's because of the fall down in procedure, Ali, and they've admitted that, and they've obviously repaired the procedure.
Okay, well then let's fast forward at this point.
I'm not making excuses for the fact that they didn't figure it out for themselves. It's ridiculous that they didn't. They should have given normal procedures when they saw the amount of cash outs and transfers that were occurring from those accounts.
And we're all in agreement.
We're
all in agreement about that fact. But, clearly that's water under the bridge. Now, looking forward, one of the things that I wanted to know, obviously I've nothing but good things to say about you as a person. I've known you for a long time. I was curious to know why it was that you decided to continue your professional relationship with Ultimate Bet in spite of the fact that these things had taken place, and why it is that you believe that players of the site should also continue to do business with them.
That I have actually a very simple answer for. When I went to go talk to them, when stuff was happening during the fall, and there was a management change, just so that you know, in October. So the people who were denying and being ridiculous about AP are no longer have any involvement with the company at all. Okay, so now there's a new management that takes place is in place in October. Okay, now. But I certainly don't trust what's going on with the site at that point. I was actually looking to leave the brand, actively looking to leave the brand, talking to other companies. Okay, because I was like, I'm not sure that I trust these people. Now, I had a couple of people that I really trust say to me, please don't make a decision yet, because the people who've come in October are really good people, and I was like, I don't think that this is ridiculous. I mean, there's no one that hates cheating worse than I do. I'm like, I can't be associated.
Right.
So now this is just because of the AP thing, right? And they're like, well, but it's different people. And I was like, I don't care if it's different people. I don't like the fact that UB has any association with AP at this point.
Right.
So now obviously there's these grumblings in January, and now like I'm done, and I'm leaving. I'm just going.
Okay.
So they said to me basically, please, before you make a decision, just come down to Costa Rica and talk to the people down there. And I was like, all right, I guess I owe you that much. I've been with the brand for a really long time. And essentially, I went down to Costa Rica, and I talked to Paul Leggett, who's the COO. And this guy is a really good guy. And basically, basically they made the investigation completely open to me. And that's why I say, I don't want there to be a misperception between the way that this scandal was handled and what happened with AP. The guys that were running AP at the time of AP were completely ridiculous. They completely denied what happened. It was one of the most obvious cases of ridiculous cheating that I've ever seen. Okay? These people, they were alerted to it. Yes, it's bad that they had to be alerted to it. But the minute they were alerted to it, they said, there is a problem.
Right.
And they started investigating it.
Well,
they never once said no. It's not true.
I'll say you and I understand the power.
So basically, they make the investigation open to me. They show me what they're doing in terms of security, and really, we had a very long talk about integrity, and basically what I said to them was that the only way that I would continue to be involved with the brand was in a situation where I had a whole lot of say over the kind of procedures that were done in terms of fraud investigation. In this sense, I mean, obviously, I'm not going to develop security software. Like, I don't know how to do that.
Right.
I'm not a software developer. But because they were willing to bring me in terms of the card room, when promotions are done, I get to ask for reports on things like, is anybody using multiple IP addresses? Is there strange stuff going on with a promotion? Like things like that, where I just have more visibility into what's going on. And when they're talking about, you know, the new security centers and the new security procedures, I'm actually consulting on it.
Well, that's good.
And they were willing to do that, and they were willing to make things very open.
Right.
In terms of what was going on, not just to me, but by the way, but to, you know, the guys at Pocket Fives and to Nat, who's the one who discovered the problem in the first place. And this investigation was done very much in the light of day.
Right.
And given that they were willing to do that, and they never, ever said no. That's what convinced me, because they handled it in a completely different way, and in a way that I felt like any scandal should ever be handled. Look, we have a problem. We're investigating it. We'll get you your money back. And we're gonna close up the issue.
Right. And so so at this point, Annie, though, you're comfortable with UB. You feel like you personally can put your name out there and say, you know what, this is not going to happen. This is being dealt with. You know, it's a different situation moving forward.
Right. And you know, and the thing is, like I say, look, can I promise that there's never going to be an issue on UB again? Well, I can't promise that there's never going to be an issue on any site. But what I can promise is that the kind of proactive security that's being done is really amazing, and they're developing all sorts of new algorithms in terms of things like bot detection and new ways to keep bad people off the site. And obviously now all big cash outs and all big transfers are investigated.
Let me ask you this,
you know,
Annie.
those procedures are completely changed. And you know, and the thing that I know with confidence is that if there were ever another issue, that it would be handled in a way that showed total integrity, that they would just be like, look, we have an issue and here's your money back. And that's this is one thing I want to say, and this is true of all of online poker. I'm not defending UB here. I'm talking about online poker as an industry. One of the really nice things about playing online is that while, just like anywhere else in the world, something bad might happen to you, right? You might get cheated in some way. The online poker sites have been very good about leveraging the transparency that they have to the data. And saying when there's a problem that they will go back and they will trace all transactions that involve whatever account it is that's the problem in terms of who they've touched, and make sure that people are being made whole. And this is where I go back to that Ivan Boesky thing. You know, when you have someone like Ivan Boesky who insider trades, which really affects everybody who's invested in any stock that he's trading in.
Right.
You can't go back and actually give people their money back.
Right. We understand, Annie. I know, and I know that there's a lot of tangents that we can go off on here, but we have a lot of questions, very legitimate ones from fans who have bothered to write into the emails, and I'd like to get to some of these. First off, I know transparency is important, but there is the power of perceived reality versus reality itself. First off, a lot of fans wanted to know what, if anything, is being done to investigate these individuals and perhaps, you know, press charges or, you know, bring some justice to what it is that they've done to make sure that the entire online community at large is not going to be faced with these sorts of efforts from this crew of people in the future.
Ultimate bet is pursuing every legal action that they can.
Okay.
You know, I mean, the big problem is that you're dealing with an industry that isn't considered by many in the United States to be legal. So if you have a perpetrator that's in North America, it's very difficult to get jurisdictions to stand up and pay attention.
Yeah, no,
and that's really what the big problem is. It's like if you sell me cocaine, and then it turns out to be baby powder, and I go to a sheriff's department, I'm like, look, this guy committed fraud because he sold me cocaine, but it was actually baby powder. That actually works in your favor. You get off the hook because you didn't actually sell me cocaine. Like, they're not actually going to press charges for fraud against you because you're, you know, this should have been an illegal transaction in the first place. Now, we know that, you know, poker is legal, but unfortunately our law enforcement isn't as well informed as we are. And so it's just difficult. It's like difficult to figure out exactly how you're supposed to prosecute these things when you're in an industry that, you know, America itself doesn't want facing America. So, you know, everything, they listen, nobody, you should hear the COO talk. I mean, he would like the perpetrator or perpetrators to go to jail, trust me.
Okay.
And that is absolutely being explored.
Okay, and UB is getting after it.
What?
Well, I was just saying, so UB is getting after it. I think that is the crux of the
They're
question.
they're absolutely getting after it. They're not dropping it. They didn't make a deal with anybody not to prosecute or anything like that. They're exploring all their legal options, and they're continuing to explore that. They're trying to make this person pay in a way that has to do with actual suffering. Let's go to jail. So it's just a matter of exactly how do you do that logistically, and that's really what the problem is. It's like, how do you go to a government and say, hey, you think we're operating illegal in your country, but we'd really like you to prosecute someone who did something bad.
Right. Annie, we have a question from Scott from Boston. He wants to know, what do you think about Eric Risen Lynch leaving UB, because he said that he still had some concerns about the things that were going on there. So basically, what was he referring to specifically, do you know? And do you also? Hold on one second.
Sorry, go ahead.
No. It's okay. I just want to give you the end part of the question. And he also wants to know, don't you think that this should make the outsiders wonder whether what he saw on the inside is really something to be concerned about or not?
Eric, I think that Eric will confirm this. Eric's main concern really had to do with the 60 Minutes story. I think that when he signed on, he didn't realize exactly how public the scandal might become. As far as what he saw on the inside, he's actually stated in public that he doesn't think there's any issue with security at Ultimate Bet, and he stated very publicly that he felt like Ultimate Bet might actually be the safest place to play right now.
Eric said this.
Eric said that, yeah. He posted that. He posted one post that was very vague, saying he was withdrawing his money, and people assumed that was because he was unhappy with security, but it actually wasn't. It was because he felt like if he was withdrawing his endorsement that it would be hypocritical of him to continue to play on the site. I actually respect that stance on his part. And I think he also felt like because he had been green, he didn't want to be answering a lot of questions anyway. He didn't actually see anything as far as security. The other thing is that because this is a fall down on my part, because I got tied up with the World Series, I was slow in getting him his contract. I take full responsibility for that, by the way.
We've also,
but mainly in the end, what he expressed to me was that he, it's hard for anybody to attach themselves to this brand right now, and I respect that was difficult for him. And in the end, I think that he was like, oh my God, like this might be on national TV.
Right.
And and I respect him deciding in the end that wasn't something that he wanted his name to be attached to. I totally understand that. Obviously, I wish that he had not attached himself to the brand in the first place, because Ultimate Bet gave complete transparency to him, total transparency to him as to what was going on and what the severity of the issue was. As everybody who signed on, and we have obviously James Campbell just signed on, Johnny Bax has signed on, and he's very happy with the brand. We've got two more people who are going to be announced in a couple weeks, and then two more people after that. I can't say who they are yet, but they're very good, people of very good integrity. So Eric Lynch is actually the only one who ended up having an issue in the end, and it really had to do with just he didn't, in the end it was scary for him, and I completely understand that. It's not a fun time for me to have my name attached to the brand either, but I feel like, and I feel very strongly that there needs to be a good third brand, and that I trust this brand, and I want to be part of the solution in terms of helping be a watchdog for the industry and helping make sure that these kinds of things don't happen, and that the kind of security procedures that are in place at places, because Ultimate Bet's going to go on with or without me.
Right.
That's just a fact. So if I can go on with Ultimate Bet and do what I can to protect the users, to make sure that they're thinking in the right way about the way that promotions even can be taken advantage of, or the way that what kinds of things the security center should be looking for, and that kind of thing, as somebody who understands poker for 15 years and certainly understands the way that the system can be taken advantage of, then I want to be part of the solution, and I feel very strongly about that. That being said, particularly given a lot of the flack that I've gotten, I totally understand Eric's decision. I just wish he would have made the decision before he signed on to the brand, because I think that his departure was misunderstood by a lot of people. He did get up and clarify it, though, and that's in his blog. So
here's
people
the unfortunate.
can go read his clarification post in which he
Right.
says very clearly that he feels like Ultimate Bet is definitely secure.
Yeah, here's the unfortunate reality, though, is that signing a lot of these people who you've mentioned right now obviously is in the interest of taking credible entities within the poker world who are looked up to, and then, taking the trust that people have or the faith that people have in these individuals and associating it with the brand. But, of course, that same trust and that same faith was placed in yourself and Antonio and Phil initially. So, it'll be interesting to see whether or not that actually is a fundamental component or something that helps people out. I got a question from Adam in New York. Hang on, I got a question. Annie, I really want to get to this stuff.
That's part of the reason why we're signing these people, but it's actually not the main reason why we're signing these people. The main reason why we're signing these people is because as somebody who was just put in charge of basically developing the card room and the promotions,
right.
I felt like it was really important to have good online players that I respect. I don't play online that much.
Right. I got a question from Adam in New York,
I wanted
Annie.
people who could actually help develop the card room. I mean, that was actually the main reason, is that I wanted people to be watching, like, what kind of promotions do people want, what kind of tournaments do people want.
Right.
And also people who are out there, like at the World Series, who are really good players, wearing the brand. I mean, there was a lot into that decision.
Right. I got a question from Adam in New York, who asked, in light of some of the information posted on 2+2 just the other day, do you or UB know of any named players that have been or will be implicated or investigated surrounding this cheating scandal?
I think that I feel like I need to wait for UB to make a statement about the stuff on 2+2.
Okay.
The one thing that I do want to say is that the person posting that is not a whistleblower. They actually tried to blackmail the company.
Oh, really?
And the company, yes, and the company refused to comply and pay. And so, I understand that they're posting information that people might be very interested in. I just don't want people to think that they're doing that out of the goodness of their heart because they're concerned about the industry or concerned about people knowing things. This is someone who threatened blackmail and tried on several occasions to blackmail the company.
Right. Clearly,
so I was aware of this individual actually before the World Series, that this person was trying to extort money.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so that being said, obviously they're posting things that I know that people are very interested in, and I'm sure that I will comment on it. I just feel like I need to let UB comment on it
Understood. Now, clearly there's been a lot of mudslinging going on. Gaberson at mac.com probably shouldn't have said his whole email out on the air right now, but he'd like to know, actually, you know what? Let's not ask this question right over there. I would like to know, personally, whether or not you believe that the company, clearly you've gone on record as saying there's transparency or whatnot, but a lot of people out there, and this may be mudslinging, claim that the company was covering things up or attempting to minimize the damage or attempting to admit less than what was actually going on in an effort to, do some damage control. And it's become kind of a he said, she said here, but let's hear your side of that because people feel like it wasn't until things were discovered by Nat, or it wasn't until things were further discovered with respect to even just recently going from 06 back to 05 for the cheating scandals, that UB stepped up and admitted to anything, and that none of it was kind of motivated internally. So what do you have to say about that alleged, covering up or minimizing of the incident?
Well, the original count that was discovered was Neo. Ultimate Bet was actually responsible for discovering all the other account names. That being said, there weren't, what just recently happened, I just want to make clear, was that no new accounts were discovered, only some new account names. Okay, so I want to make that really clear because that's very different. In other words, this person was changing names on accounts all the time. They were not creating new accounts. Do you understand? So Ultimate Bet did catch all the accounts involved.
Right.
Do you understand what the difference is? They missed a couple of name changes is what happened. And this was a very extensive investigation.
Right.
Ali, honestly, I'm the only thing that I can tell you is that from the minute that it was pointed out to them that there was an issue with this account Neo, they then went into full investigation. And it's a very complex investigation. It stretches back years, right? We're talking about over 2 years. So the amount of data mining and the amount of connection, because one thing that you need to realize, and I think that you can see this from what was posted on 2+2, is clearly these accounts were connected to a lot of people, right? Mm-hmm. So Lyle Berman, for example, who clearly is not a cheater, right? We know Lyle Berman was not cheating on Ultimate Bet. That's ridiculous.
If he was, he was doing a bad job of it, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, he was, but but you notice that there's a lot between the accounts that were the actual bad accounts and Lyle. There was a lot of transferring going back and forth, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm. So what UB now has to do is they had to go through and they had to look at all of these transactions and all of these connections and figure out which were bad connections and which connections were just because there were connections because people transfer to each other.
Right.
Right? So that was thing number one. I mean, that was aside from let's go and figure out so we know which accounts are bad, which takes a long time to figure out because you have to tease out all of these connections between accounts, right?
Right.
So now they figure out what all the accounts are, and now they've got to do all this data mining.
Right.
Okay? So now they've got to figure out, now that we know which accounts are bad, now, and which account names are bad, now we've got to go through and see every transaction that ever occurred with these. What do you think that's supposed to take? And that's one thing that I think that's the one thing that actually bugs me. Like, I mean, people have a right to be as upset as they want to be. And I would never argue with someone being upset about this situation. God knows I'm upset about the situation.
Right.
But when people say to me, man, UB was really slow, I say, they admitted the problem in January and they refunded by May. Now, I want you to think about the amount of data that they had to go through.
Right.
And that's, not so bad. You know, I mean, it's like, well, did you want them to do it in a week? Because if they did it in a week, they weren't going to catch, all the accounts. They weren't going to catch all the transactions. And then people were going to scream that they did a half-assed job of it.
Right. Well,
and when they put the statement out, by the way, another thing I want to make clear is when they put the statement out, because they wanted to get these refunds out, they were aware that they probably hadn't caught all the data yet.
Right.
But people were so pissed off about it, they wanted to get some closure to it, and they wanted the community to see that they were indeed responding, right? So they said in that statement that happened in May when they did the refund, please alert us to anything else because this investigation is still ongoing. Right. And we're expecting to be doing more refunds and we're expecting to be making more people whole and we may find some other names and things like that because we've only had 4 months so far.
Right. Well,
Look at 2.5 years worth of data.
I'll tell you what.
Nothing has happened that's weird. Like the fact that they found a couple other account names is not strange. They were expecting to have that happen.
Right. I want to tell you something right now, Annie, because we are running out of time right now. I really applaud the way that you have not shied away from coming onto the show, from talking to several of the different media outlets about that, and that in and of itself is admirable, as is the fact that at least UB is willing to make these refunds and is willing to continue the investigation, and we appreciate those efforts, and we'll definitely check back with you as things continue to develop and unfold. Thank you so much for coming on the show, Annie. We've actually got Don Cheadle on the line. He's going to come on and chat a little bit about Annie Up for Africa.
Oh,
and
great.
do you want to stay on the line while Don jumps on? Can we do that, guys?
Sure.
Let's do that. All right.
Okay, great.
Don, what's going on, man? You're on with PokerRoad Radio. Annie's on the line. I'm here. Joe's here. How you doing, brother?
Hey, how's it going, people?
It's going good, my man. Did you just wake up?
No, I wish.
You had a busy day.
That'd be a great day if I could have just waken up now.
Right. Well, listen, Annie's been on the phone. She's been talking some serious poker matters, but let's take it to something a little bit lighter. I know you've been involved in poker. Obviously, Annie and you have played some trailer freeze-outs, apparently, from what she's telling me out on the Ocean set. But you've actually taken it to the next level. You were playing on a show, the NBC Heads Up Poker Championship. I had a chance to watch you play. Talk to me about that experience, my man. What's it like getting out there with the big dogs?
It was a lot of fun. I mean, it really shows the difference in the game of somebody who's just a novice and an aficionado versus somebody who really does it and does it for a living and does it day in and day out. I mean, I had a ball. I had no illusions that I could really hang with them, but it was a lot of fun. Annie and I got together in my room about an hour before I went out there, and she gave me some tips, and then I went out and threw them all away and just did my thing.
Yeah, you did pretty well, though. I mean, you bested Phil Ivey in that event before, and I mean, how serious are you about your poker? Is it just a recreational thing, or are you a really competitive guy that could see yourself maybe one day, once this super ridiculously successful acting career of yours maybe wanes to maybe do this poker thing?
No, I don't think it. I don't love it like that. I mean, I have a ball doing it, but when I watch these guys who can sit down at a poker table for 14 hours at a time and really put in that kind of work, I'm not with it on that level, and I'm not risking any kind of real money that's gonna give me serious agita if I lose it. I just like to sit down and have fun and mess around.
How much of your acting career comes into play when you're on the felt? Is there any truth to that? I hear people say all the time, you can kind of bluff better because you know how to control your emotions and this and that. But is that real or is it no?
No. One thing that nobody ever believes me. I mean, it's good because the truth always works for me at the poker table because I just straight up tell people what I have and no one ever believes me. But everyone is always gunning for me. It's always like I got a bounty on my head. Everybody wants to have a story to tell that they took me out at the poker table. So.
Yeah,
it ain't that hard to do. It's like you get an Oscar.
Yeah, what's the big deal, man? I mean, you were on Crash, you're on Hotel Rwanda. I mean, bring home the hardware, son.
Exactly.
What's the problem? Now, we chatted with Annie a little bit about this earlier, but I wanted to give you an opportunity to talk about it as well. Wonderful, terrific cause and organization that you linked up with Annie for, Annie Up for Africa. Talk to me a little bit about that whole deal.
Well, this, came about as sort of the brainchild of Annie and a guy named Norman Epstein and myself, just trying to figure out a way to combine, one of the things that we love to do, playing poker, with the other things that we thought were important in the world, and, sponsoring and a charitable event so that we could get people's attention around Darfur and try to keep the awareness up about that and raise money and get money out there on the ground. So we kind of had this idea, and Annie had a relationship already with Jeffrey Pollack and reached out to him, and he was very enthusiastic about bringing us into a partnership with the World Series of Poker, and, it just kind of went from there.
And how much money have you guys raised for the cause over the last 2 years?
Man, what do you think the number is, Annie? It's over 2 million now.
I can figure it out. 1.1 plus 1.6 plus about $2 million.
Yeah.
1.1 plus 1.6 is about $2 million.
No.
That's fuzzy math.
Plus like another 100. It's right around the $2 million mark.
That's strong. And let me understand this correctly. The tournament is actually a fully organized tournament, 5K buy-ins, and it is completely voluntary whether or not people are donating this money, right?
It has to be, actually. Most charity poker tournaments, I'm sure that you've attended, do something like half the money goes to the prize pool and half the money goes to the charity. But because of Nevada state law, you can't actually compel somebody by buying into a tournament to donate. So 100% of the money must go to the prize pool. So we actually rely on the generosity of the people who are playing in the event for all the money that we raise. And luckily, it turns out that poker players are a pretty generous bunch of people.
Wow.
Exactly.
There you go.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's a really admirable thing to see people out there who are utilizing their celebrity and their notoriety for goodness. And Lord knows that we need more folks like that out there, Don. I know that you're a busy man. I know you don't have a ton of time. I want to thank you so much for bothering to call into the show. And I'll tell you what, I am going to put in a word with Poker After Dark. I'm going to see. Are you interested?
Oh, I would love to come on that show.
Okay, all right.
I would love to, as long as you don't, beat me up the way you did on the Heads Up thing. When we get offline, I'm gonna talk to you a little bit about that.
I'm in the doghouse. All right, I'm gonna cut everybody loose. Annie, thanks so much for being on the show. We really appreciate you fielding the questions and addressing the issues. And Don, you as well. Thanks so much for coming on. Please hang up and don't chew me out once I say goodbye over here. In any case, we're gonna cut it to a quick commercial break and be right back with more PokerRoad Radio. Welcome back for more PokerRoad Radio. Oh, boy.
Wow.
I'm a little exhausted.
Wow.
That was a very challenging interview. You know what that was? That was Meet the Press.
It was Meet the Press. And I don't know. I respect Annie, and I respect, her media savvy, if you will. And I mean, I dearly hope that everything that she has said is actually happening, that UB is very seriously getting after it, and they are, trying to alleviate some of these concerns that everybody has, because they were a lot of huge concerns and
legitimate concerns.
And I think that Annie hit on some of them, and I think that she tried to get away from some of them as well.
And I hope that everybody out there who's listening, who was kind enough to send in questions over our email and over the chat room, we do listen, we do respond to you guys. Shrunk did a wonderful job of compiling a lot of the most prevalent sentiments and thoughts together, and this was a really important interview to us, which is why we extended the show so long, and we're taking up a few extra megabytes in your iPods, or a few extra gigs on your stream, as the case may be. But yeah, I feel like we hit the points that needed to be hit. I mean, she definitely had more that she had on her mind than we necessarily wanted to get to. The stock market stuff was a little, I don't know what was going on there.
Yeah, it was it was an interesting.
It was what it was. And the coolest of cats, let me tell you right now from experience, is Don Cheadle. I mean, here's a guy who, he's big time. I mean, he's super A-list Hollywood,
super big time.
But he is the kind of guy who you can walk up, say what's up to, hang out with. I've only recently started kicking it with him, and he has been nothing but friendly. And his willingness to call into Poker Road and really help his career out like that was a big deal, for him. So I just would like to say you're welcome, Don, if you're listening.
Exactly.
In any case, 877-836-ROAD is the voicemail number. PRradio@PokerRoad.com is the email. We would like for you guys to utilize those two communications mediums to give us your best Riley Forbes 5-pound baby Jesus send-off. Today was his last day. Winner will get to live at Riley's house for 7 days. You will get an all-expense-paid trip to the Forbes mansion.
Meals,
up in
accommodations.
Canada, yes. You'll be riding a Halo Warthog north of the border, and he will put you up for the whole thing. By the way, I saw a Halo Warthog on YouTube. Somebody actually converted their car into a Halo Warthog.
That's impressive.
Sometimes I get distracted. We got the new stuff. We got that 15 Outs with Jamie Gold thing that Shrunk is involved with on the site. Plenty of new Blockfessionals content. I got to go relax.
Yeah, we got to chill.
That one trained me. And what better way
Ultimate butt
than to jump on, not Ultimate Butt, but Full Tilt. And you and I, heads up right now, mano a mano. Let's do it.
And tomorrow, Bellagio Cup starting.
Ooh,
so we're going to be
that's
covering
right.
that as well. Bellagio
That's right.
Cup
And
and
we'll talk
main
about
event.
the structure. It's got some structure.
We're going to chat about the
action going
structure.
on.
We're getting into all of it. It's going to be interesting.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us on the super extended edition of Poker Road Radio. Our love to all of you out there for listening. Same time, same place tomorrow from the Rio. This is Hollywood saying so long.
I'll be slinging wood, yeah, out the hood.